them in a bit. Osoro standing by as well. Excuse me, with your social media messages, so do send them through at the Trend Live. The hashtag is #HeyAmina. And right about now, we're ending with comedy. Emmanuel Kisia Ngani. Oh, thank you. Hey, let me tell you.
You got it.
Like, Kisia Ngani. Thank you so much. And then Dag Mutahi, Eugene Mbugua. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello. How
you doing?
Dag, the last time we saw one another, you were starting a new show.
Yes.
Which is doing really well right now, I understand.
Yes, it's doing quite well.
How's things?
Roast House.
Good. Roast House is going great.
Yeah.
We just finished the season finale, and we're getting up to start another show. Actually, it's going to be stand-up, actually. So we're really excited for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you guys, does he like roasting people just in general?
Oh, I mean, for season 1, he roasted Nameless, Boniface Mwangi, Bien,
Sana.
Vivi, Bensoul, Sana. So I think he likes it.
He likes roasting people. Wait, Dag, I understand I was also being called for.
We waited for you, Amina.
Dag,
I can show you the notebook. With your jokes.
How many pages?
It was a lot. Remember, you are on TV every Friday, Amina.
Yeah, so there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to roast you about.
There was a huge demand.
There was a demand for Amina.
So you
Took her home, but I texted you like a million times. I called you.
I was like, I'll take it personally. I'll get on the stage and I'll slap one of you guys. I don't know how.
That would have been great for ratings.
Yeah? Oh, for you?
Yeah, it would have been our best show.
Imagine trending with Amina next to you.
She cried.
Emmanuel, would you, like, if I came and I slapped you, how would you react? If you said, like, a really mean, offensive joke to me that you did find offensive?
No, seeing like what happened to Chris Rock, I think that would happen to me, man.
Yeah?
You know, I'd be on interviews. How did you feel when Amina slapped you?
Biggest gift of your career.
Yeah, man.
In that moment,
I'd be in the news.
what was going on in your head? Because I mean, maybe there was something going on in your head. Right? Am I
Yeah?
No, I just decided to calm down and just take it as it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think she really meant anything.
Yeah.
So it would be amazing.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, I mean, we need to talk about it, though.
Yeah.
How would you have reacted? I think that Chris Rock is such a stellar host, such a professional, because I think if I was a guy and, you know, another man came up on stage and just slapped me in front of millions across the world on one of the biggest nights in film and TV, I would punch you back. I don't know. Is it just me?
It's weird because it throws you off. You're on stage, you have the microphone, you don't know what's going on. You know what's weird? I would have just done something weird, like I've just been hug him.
You'd hug him?
Just hug him.
But
you need a hug. You need a hug right now. I feel like you need a hug.
There's something going on.
There's something going on.
Yeah, I'm here
dig
for you.
Deeper. Dig deeper.
I'm here for you, bro.
Yeah, I'm
I
here
love
for you. Don't
I love
go.
you. Emmanuel.
I think it really showed his professionalism.
Yeah.
Because he handled it like a pro.
Like an actual pro.
I think an unseasoned host would have just been like, I'm removing my weave, I'm getting into this thing. You know, but he handled it really well.
I would definitely have removed my wig. Let me just and hit you with that wig. Because how do you, because everyone thought, oh, you know, it's a publicity stunt, or, you know, did he really hit him, or da-da-da, until, you know, the stories came out that no, it wasn't a joke. He didn't even flinch. He was just like, I just got smacked on TV by Will Smith. This is, you know, we just made history. Like, he looked at it like a glass half full, but it was such, I think every comedian around the world in that exact moment sort of like took a step back and thought about, you know, their style of comedy. And is it offensive, is it not?
And I also think it was a statement, you know, because there's this cancel culture which is really big right now. So it was a statement, you know, it helped show the, you know, send the message that this is just comedy. Like, don't take this thing to heart. You know, we're just trying to have some fun. And, you know, after we have some fun, you know, you just go home and laugh about it. So you don't have to come and physically, you know, beat me up. Don't cancel me on Twitter. You know, like, these are just jokes.
These are just jokes. And guys even, I'm sure, like you said, guys even thought about their comedy. I know I changed my comedy. I stopped wearing wigs. Because I would have removed mine to fight. But when there's no wig to remove, there's no fight to have.
You're so silly, Dag. That's what you
We're
thought
actually
about.
listening to him like he's saying.
I know. I was listening. I was like, then you removed the wig.
wig.
You know, like, this is the Martin Luther King, I have a dream speech that I'm listening to. No, but, you know, a lot of people are complaining now that the world of comedy is being too sensitive, or rather they're being forced to be too sensitive. You know, I've seen some really, let me tell you, there are some comedians who do not give
Yeah,
they don't care. They don't care at all. Do you feel like it's killing comedy, the sensitivity?
Well, political correctness is generally a big thing right now. But like on our show, for instance, on Roast House and the shows we are making right now, we are lucky to be on a streaming service. Yeah. So what happens is we get to go as hard as we can. Yeah. But then we have to do the fight with KFCB. But it means we can't go on linear TV on this one, for instance. Yeah. It's not really killing comedy. It's just it's relegating it to a corner. Yeah. So everybody else who's very Christian and doesn't want to be offended will almost like it's the bird with the head in the sand.
Yeah,
ostrich.
Yeah,
the ostrich with the head in the sand. Yeah. But then if you know where to find it, it's been relegated to a corner. So I don't think it's killing it. It's just platforms are emerging where it's allowed.
Yeah. I mean, I've been cancelled a couple of times. Here I am.
They did not succeed. They did not succeed.
I've been watching you being cancelled.
They are roasting this one.
Can I tell you guys something so funny? It took me being can I call myself a celebrity?
Yeah. You're a big one.
Anyway,
as big as they come.
It took me being a personality for me to understand that not everything people say online is true. Yeah. In fact, I think almost 99% of the things that I've ever read about myself are all lies. There's so many that are all lies. So you're like, where do you even begin to start correcting yourself? Because people online tell you, Eugene, why are you feeding these trolls? Like, don't say that. But what are your thoughts about cancel culture, Doug?
Cancel culture is there. I mean, it's one of those things where it exists, but it's always existed. But now it's being magnified because everyone has a platform, remember? Yeah. Like, back in the day, it always existed. Like, sensitivities always existed. But now they have social media, and your tweet can go viral, your video. So if you're ranting about, and everybody feels the same way, it just will go. So I think it's just been compounded by the fact that everybody has a platform to say something, but I don't think it's much different than it was before. Like the rate of initial offense is still as much as it was in the 80s or in the 70s and 90s.
In the 80s, did you watch Eddie Murphy's, what was it called?
It is red.
The Delirious, yes.
Delirious? Come on.
Yeah, but see, right? I'm sure there were people who didn't like it, but they didn't have
Where
Twitter.
could you go say it? I mean,
you
could write a letter.
They wrote letters. People wrote letters. It needed commitment back in the day. You have to get a letter, write it down, buy a stamp. You have to lick it.
And unless
you have to lick a stamp.
And unless they respond, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And there's no comments. So it dies in the mailbox.
And then another thing is the context. Yes. Like nowadays, most people don't have an attention span to watch the whole thing. Yes. So they'll just see a thing, someone cut for like 30 seconds, and they'll make a conclusion from that. So I think that's the problem. Like we don't look for the context behind why did this person say that? And then you just get trolled.
Ni kazi mingi sana, ni kazi mingi. You do the research, you watch the whole 10-minute, 15-minute, maybe 45-minute interview for you to understand what did they mean. What were they trying to say? Context is important, you're right. But then now, because of our attention span, things are changing. Emmanuel, you traveled to SA.
Yeah.
And I understand it was a turning point in your life and in your career. What was the reason for you to go to SA?
I was doing comedy at a local show. And, I was just, like, it wasn't working for me at that time, okay? So
Churchill, Tony Sawa.
Yes, I was on Churchill show. I think I'm used to other shows. So I went, I traveled down there, then I saw how they were doing the stand-up comedy. So in South Africa, it's the international style, and the international style is very personal. So when you're doing your stand-up comedy, you're talking, it's inspired by your own life. So I talk about my life, I exaggerate it a little bit, add some jokes here and there. So that, when I came back, I had to rebrand that, first of all, unlearn everything that I knew. And then I came back and started talking about my life. So that, for me, that was a whole, it was, what I was doing before and what I'm doing now, totally different. Because now, what I'm doing on stage is based on my truth every single day.
But that means you have to be vulnerable. It's very similar to what you do on radio and on TV, and the more honest you are about who you are in your life and the troubles that you're going through, the challenges that you're trying to overcome every day, the more relatable it makes you. Because now you become human, right? You're not this, because TV creates an illusion that you're perfect, you have hair and makeup all the time, and I look homeless half the time. You know what I mean? So I get it, but do you ever feel like this is a bit much, especially for the people around you, because I hear comedians, wives, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, they complain because, babe, you're talking about our sex life on a stage of 5,000 people. You want to share it, I don't want to share it. Do you ever feel like it's a bit much?
No, actually, like, I build many of my jokes. My joke is based on my marriage, for example. So my wife knows. I normally just tell her, I'm like, by the way, what do you think of this? Ha ha. She's like, no, it's funny. Yeah. So for me now, I'm used to it. Like, I share it with her. So when I'm on stage, guys are like, are these things true? Does your wife know these jokes? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, she had them first. I started them from home. Yeah. Then I did them here. But also there's someone in the audience who relates to that. Yeah. Yeah. That's the goodness of being vulnerable. Yeah. Like, someone looks at you and like, even me, that's my life. I'm not weird. Yeah. So I think that's why the that one, it connects you with the audience.
Yes, it does. And I like that you said that you share it with her first. Can you imagine getting on stage and you share some very intimate detail of something that happened between us? Yeah. And I know everyone is laughing, but like, it's our life. Like, for us, it's a reality. Anyway, now talking about you know, these roast kings, we do have some clips of your past episodes where you are roasting some of your favorite artists. So let's take a look, watch, enjoy, and laugh.
Despite being a mega superstar, even at the height of your career, Juakali was always known to be humble. You know, this guy was up. I had never even met him in person, but I could tell he was humble. You know how I could tell? His video vixens were always kienyeji.
A while ago, a few explicit pictures of a woman alleged to be Avril were posted and circulated online. Some people believed it was her. It wasn't her. I mean, to me, it was quite obvious because the woman in the picture had normal-sized eyebrows. So I wanted to shout out Eugene. Eugene is the reason we're all here. Eugene, for those of you who don't know, he's the well-dressed redhead. Looks like a CEO for an acrobat troupe.
Like, people say Gengeton will not exist if it was not for Juakali. Yeah, so if you're looking for someone to blame for Geuka Nikobeng, he's right there. For his first show, Juakali performed with Clemo and Nonini, and they were paid 3,000 Kenya shillings. No, not each. They had to share this fairly. They had to share these fairly, which means Juakali didn't go home with anything. That's, you know, it was a fair distribution, so. But Mungu ni nani? Today he's going home with the 3,000 shillings. That's what he's got to pay. He's not sharing with anyone. Mungu halali.
You know what? Even I know that there are some musicians who never catch feelings. Some of them are really cool, just really chill. Eugene, was it difficult for you to put, you know, all these comedians together who understood your vision, understood what you're trying to do? You're not trying to talk about like, oh, Wakamba munajua na waluya mukhana, like, it was very different. It's new age. Because now we want to enjoy Kevin Hart's comedy, but we also want someone in Kenya who will give us the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was the easiest thing in the world because already I found them this way. I'm not the one who put them together. So Stand Up Collective, they're already working. I think you guys had just started just before the pandemic. Yeah. So they're already having these amazing open mic shows across the city. And I went to one as a guest and I watched it and I was like, I want to put this on TV. And so when I approached Doug and Emmanuel and they put everything together, it was plug and play. And so we did the first series, which was Roast House. We did 10 episodes of that. And now we're just about to do a bigger show. We're moving from a club to a auditorium, 300 people. We're having our first one next Friday at the Louis Leakey Auditorium, bigger stage. They're going to do bigger sets. And they're the future of comedy. And as you can see, it's very, as you mentioned, it's very different. It's not the local kind of stuff you get. Yeah. Very international, quite more offensive than usual. But also more authentic.
Yeah. I think I would want to be a comedian just to diss other people. Being dissed is so different. Because, you know, you have to take it as much as you know, sort of like dish it. Because a lot of people dish it, but they can't take it. Yeah. They can't take it. Doug, where do you lie? Like, it can go as far. You're one of those kids from Chongwano.
Not really, no.
Yeah, and Mbali, and your mom, my mom, like, it goes.
I never did Mchongwano, actually. I was a very introspective, deep thinker. I mean, my own weird thoughts. But if somebody comes at me, I was ready.
Okay.
Like
You'll never be the one to offend.
Yeah, but I never
You'll
instigate.
finish.
Yeah, mi si mchokozi. Lakini ukikuja vibaya, tutapatana. That's yeah, that's kind of how my temperament was through and through. Yeah.
Yeah. But now, how are you enjoying roasting people? How how do you come up with the content for them? You know, trying to balance offense and trying to make it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we base it on their lives, right? We base it on the existing truth. We just do it because even our comedy is very, like you said, it's very personal. So I'm using my own truth to make the jokes that you enjoy and relate to. Same thing, I'm using that person's truth to make a show that so even they'll know, okay, that's true. And then that's a joke about it. Or sometimes it's even a praise, but oh, that's a joke about that achievement I have. So in a way, actually, it's kind of easy. It's very easy. It's very easy to do that.
So how does this happen? So you guys write your jokes.
Yeah.
Do you do you have someone who sits in as you're rehearsing? Like, I want to know the behind the scenes of how it works, Eugene. Yeah. Do you have them? Of course, they come up with the jokes, and then do you have like a producer who sits and listens to now Doug and listens to now Emmanuel and listens to so on?
So we usually produce the show itself, not the content. They're very good. I think you guys have rehearsals, what, 2-3 times a week? Yeah. The difference between them and traditional comedy that has been done in Kenya is that they're actually working comedians. They have workshops every week. Yeah. And for a few guests, we've had no-go zones, but for the most part, really, we don't produce the content. We produce the show, and they come and plug and play. The thing we actually work towards is the praises. That's what we work towards with them, because some of these guys, they've been a bit too offensive, so sometimes just like you also have to give some flowers. But we...
You're the one who has to remind them.
But for the most part, we don't produce any of the content. We produce the show itself. How is it going to look technically? We've had, of course, because it's still Kenya, there's some censorship that has happened. There's some stuff that has been said that we still had to cut off because we're still in commercial business. But we don't really control any of the content. It's them. They've got a very good system going on. Stand-up collective, they're very organized. And you guys are having 30 comedians?
Yeah, almost.
It's amazing. It's the future of comedy.
How did it happen? How did that happen? Where did you meet one another? How did you sort of like come together and understand that we have the same, or rather we have a very similar direction as far as our comedy is concerned? We're not trying to talk about the traditional, normal, predictable jokes that we are so used to hearing, we're so accustomed to hearing, and you wanted to change and switch up the system. Yeah.
It was very organic because I just moved back from Canada and I was looking for a space to play. I used to work in Canada as a comedian, and so I just moved back home and I'm looking around. Then I meet some guys. I find Kisiangani. So we start talking. We're like, hey, there's no stage. There's nowhere to do comedy. What's going on? We thought there was a comedy show, so there's a system. So there's none. So we actually sat down. We started sitting and building this thing together. There was some one-off shows that would happen once every 3 months or 4 months. So we actually sat down and we started organizing the shows ourselves. We have the show, and then we started organizing the writing sessions, and it just grew organically. Some people would be attending shows, and people would be like, I would like to try that. And some of the brilliant names that have come out of it is they was just finding out while they were just trying to enjoy it. They're like, oh, this thing existed. I've always wanted to do it. And it's grown organically. And even to date, we still have guys coming in. We tell them, okay, we have a community that we've built. Join in, try and plug in and just contribute and grow organically. Don't force yourself. Don't force, because sometimes people are also tempted when they get in. They conflate fame with the skill. So people are looking for fame. So we're also like, okay, we don't have that, but we have the skill. We can teach you the skill. You'll find your own path on that other side. So yeah.
Do you think anyone can be a comedian?
That's a
because you said we will teach you.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
You've said it. We've had you. We've had you.
So you try.
You can try.
Okay.
Because I feel like you can always connect with people, but now on how well you will connect, that's another issue. So I actually have never answered that question.
You know who tried? Bien.
Yeah.
And he did quite well.
He did
you guys
quite well.
him. Yeah.
So
you should come on that stage.
Yeah. I think I'd kill it. I don't know.
The
overconfidence for me.
you.
No, but can I tell you something? So I genuinely have always loved comedy, and I can take as much as I can dish, right? And when you start off on radio and you do TV with people like Osoro, Osoro disses me all the time. When I tell you he disses me with my looks, he disses me with my wigs, he disses you, and he knows that I can take it just as much as long as he can also take it when I diss him. Because a lot of people, they don't know the balance, wanna catch. So I've always thought that this would be something so easy to do, and I've always wanted to see more women do it. And I'm so glad to see you guys switch it up and change things. And I know there's something called Comedy Roast.
Comedy Riot.
Oh, Comedy Riot.
And you've agreed to be part of it.
I have. Yes. I have. Yes, I have. So tell me about it. I just said yes. Hata sikujua nasema yes to what?
So Comedy Riot is different from what we've been doing with Roast House, because Roast House it's a comedy club at a club. We're taking it to a bigger stage, so it's an auditorium this time, so bigger audience. We're building a new stage entirely, and where else at Roast House you see comedians coming up for 3-4 minutes, this time the headliners will have 15 minutes. It's a great experience for the audience. We're shooting the first one next Friday at Louis Leakey Auditorium. You can buy tickets at Stand Up Collective, and we'll be doing one every month. And I think you're due for the one in October, where we hope that you'll introduce one of the comedians and do a set.
Yes, and do a set. Please, guys, come. I don't know when that is. Let me tell you, I don't know when that is. So I invite Jackson, my director, because I want him to be in the crowd so that I can diss him. I want to diss someone I know. Jackson Takach.
So Comedy Riot, starting next Friday.
Starting next Friday. So
at Louis Leakey Auditorium.
So tickets, please tell everyone everything.
Tickets at Stand Up Collective. Are they live right now?
Yeah, they're live.
standupcollective.co.ke. I think there's early birds tickets selling right now. They're almost out for 1,000 bob. Tickets at the gate is 1,600, 1,500. Am I wrong on that? Tumeshakupea discount already up.
Oh yeah, okay, anything else?
No, it's a big thing for us. So everyone should come out, because for the last 5 years, it's like this is something that has come out from all this work underground. We've been doing these shows underground. Sometimes you have, especially when we started, 5 people in the audience. It's grown now. We have more people in the audience. So now, like, this is sort of a climax in regard to what we've been doing all these years. So we just need guys to come out and enjoy this moment with us.
Next Friday, Louis Leakey Auditorium.
Next Friday, what time?
From 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
From 7 p.m.
Goes live at 7
So
p.m. We'll have a red
yangu?
carpet. We'll have a...
I'm joking.
Tutawapea breaks. We'll be tunapata show yako during breaks.
Okay, thank you so much. So from 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Louis Leakey Auditorium. Tickets are on sale at standupcollective.co.ke.
Okay, they come through looking nice.
Kuna red carpet, kuna backstage. Kwanza wetu tukimaliza show hapo kuja pale straight.
Lakini inaisha saa ngapi?
Tutangoja mpaka umalize.
Oh, around 10. Oh man, 10 I can't make it, but there's the next one I understand is a Saturday.
We put that on Saturday particularly for you.
I know. I begged. So please come through and support Kenyan comedians. Like, the game is changing. Things are switching up. I've always wanted to go to a comedy show in Kenya, and we're talking about KRE. Like, I want to talk about taxes. I want to talk about mortgages. I want to talk about marriages. You know what I mean? Like, I want to talk about infidelity. Like, I want it to be things that we want to not normalize, or rather, like, things that are localized, that you hear about in foreign countries. So I am proud of you guys, and I can't wait to see where Stand Up Collective is going to go. Can I join in? For people who are watching now and they want to join in, what does it take?
Message us on one of the platforms.
We'll
let you know for the open mics, right? That's where you get started, and prepare 3 to 5 minutes of material. And we'll show you where you need to go.
Is there a few minutes that you will, like, talk to someone and guide them and tell them,
Actually, we like to see them on stage first. Like, we like the audience to be the truth teller. So sometimes you're just funny, and we'll kill your funny by telling you what to do. So we want you to try it, and then you didn't do it, so we'll come back, we'll be like, okay, so what you could do is this. Now start teaching you the techniques.
Doug is very honest,
He is.
He seems. I could just see it. I could see. Oh, he will tell you. Simon Cowell. He'll be like, that was ish. That was.
He calls you after the show. He's like, that stuff.
Bro. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, Doug, and of course Eugene Mbugua. Eugene has a new show coming up, Real Housewives of Nairobi.
Yes. I can't talk about it yet.
Yeah? Osoro kwa hapa. Osoro, Real Housewives.
I didn't know one day you'll vouch for me as a DOP.
No. As a cast member, stop lying. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. All the best. I can't wait to come for the show. in 2 weeks and join you guys on stage. Hopefully you'll be polite, Doug. Yeah, Emmanuel, I know is sweet. Just be nice.
Kama kuna kitu moja na mimi. Sinanga ubaya.
Na mtu.
Na mtu.
Hauna mtu?
Sinaonga ubaya na mtu.
Oh, okay. Sina mtu. Those are two different messages.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So ni gani? Ni gani?
Sina ubaya na mtu. Niko na mtu, lakini sina ubaya na yeye.
Anyway, okay, so check it out, man. It's going to be one hell of a riot. You don't want to miss that. If you're all about comedy, you love, just like letting go of your problems for a few hours and just laughing at other people's problems and relating to some of the content that you will be seeing on stage. I think this is definitely the event for you. And I think 1,000 bob, come on, that's very affordable. 1,500 when you get to, right? When you get to the gate.
Yeah.
Louis Leakey.